Well,
Be very clear and very specific.
I just feel like he is like one of those ones that are going just under the radar. Like he stays quiet.
How do you know that Tim is being deliberately quiet and that it's not just in his nature?
I don't know if that's... I mean, there's times when he's not so quiet, but that's how I feel.
Gianna, you've explained that. What you haven't explained is how that affects you.
Well, it just affects me because I feel that I'm being open and he's not.
Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
Okay, for 1 point I'm nominating Geneva. And the reason why I'm nominating Geneva is I find that she's very hot and cold, just with her temperament. Some of the times she can be extremely friendly and very loving and funny and stuff, but other times she just turns and becomes quite angry. It just makes me feel uncomfortable that I can't be myself, like in case she might turn and just become extremely angry about it.
Angela, who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
I nominate for 2 points Michelle because I find her to be dishonest by different actions she's done about the house, going through people's things. Also, she seems to be like you try to talk to her and get to know her, and she's more interested in running off and playing with the boys instead, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable because I don't feel that she's being very honest. I think she's playing the game somewhat.
Angela, you cannot fall back on the word uncomfortable for all your nominations. Do not make that mistake. How have her actions impacted on you personally?
Well, it makes me angry because I don't like to see people behave that way, and it makes me angry, so therefore it's not making me a very happy person when I'm around her.
Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
I nominate Gianna for 1 point because I think that she doesn't really do much around the place, and she, with food and that, especially because we've been on the rations, on the staple diet, sorry, she'd take extra, like a lot of food, extra food, not eat it, and then just put it in the fridge for herself. And I just think it's a bit selfish, and it's just not a nice thing to be around someone who does that.
So we're off already and the knives are out. After the break, 2 into 1 does go as the Logans squeeze into the diary room chair together.
It's so easy to be, you know.
What's that?
It's so easy. Like, if I was a mad bachelor, like we said before, this is where you want to...
Oh, imagine bringing a chick home from the club, mate. You say, oh, yeah, just got a little apartment. Bring them home to this, mate.
It's got everything you want, you know. It's got cameras so you can film it.
Nominations with a fabulous final sting in the tail, and that sting is you, so stay tuned. But right now it's time to see the twins nominate. Now remember, their challenge in the house was to remain undetected as twins for 2 weeks. Had they succeeded, they would have entered the house as 2 individuals. But as you saw, they failed and now must nominate, be nominated and perhaps even be evicted as one person. Now remember, Logan David is the one who looks like a carrot with the red hair, okay?
Logan David, Logan Greg, have you discussed your nomination? You have 1 minute.
What strategy are we going for? People that we think are going to win? That would be mine. Yeah. I think Glenn will go close. I think Christy will go close, but I don't want to vote Glenn off. No. It makes our time a lot easier. I think Christy will go well. I think Tim will go well as well. Yeah, so do I. Well, I don't know the housemates enough to judge them by their character. I can only judge them by instinct. I would probably pick 2 points Geneva purely because she was just can be really aggressive and mean.
Your time is up.
The blonde one? No, it's the one with the white top. Yes, I agree.
Logan David, Logan Greg, Who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
I think we've narrowed it down to 2 people, and the strategy that we're taking is it's a bit hard the first week. I think 2 points will have to go to probably, I'd say, Christy. She is a type of character that I think everyone likes, and she's just, I think she could go close to winning it.
Logans, nominating for strategy is not an easy option. You need to be very specific as why you think the person you are nominating is a threat to you.
Her, the way her personality gets good attention. There's no negative, like when you're talking.
She's like the baby of the group, and everyone
adores her. And I just don't think other people would vote for her.
Logan David, Logan Greg, who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
I'm going to go 1 point. We'll go Geneva. Yeah. Geneva. From time to time, in her own way, she can make you feel makes you feel as if you're not putting in 110%. There was intimidation there that she made you feel as if you weren't pulling your weight around the house when I was.
I think that's a good choice. I'd nominate her for 1 point. Just it's early days, but it's a great thing to have, to be upfront and to tell people what you think, but in certain circumstances, you know, she didn't even get to know me. Like, I didn't really get to know her, but she'd already established what her feelings were for myself. Or for both of us.
Logan's big brother needs to be able to understand your nominations. You haven't been clear on why you're awarding the 1 point. Be specific.
I think her actions speak louder than what she actually, what she says, what she comes out with. I think if she could say a lot more, she would.
Okay, that was weird, all right? That was just weird. Thank goodness we're not drinking as we watch this. All right, the girls are certainly getting more than their share of nominations tonight. Let's see if Glenn breaks with convention as he puts a nomination sheep in a headlock and takes out his clippers.
Glenn.
Big brother.
Who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
For 2 points, I'll nominate Geneva because I don't like the way she talks to people a lot, and to me as well. Some of the things she says I don't reckon are very appropriate, and it gets me angry and frustrated listening to her sometimes.
What has she said to you?
Oh, just when we've been going to bed and that, and everyone's still having a joke and mucking around, and she just swears and carries on and shut the f*** up, and just, I think it's really inappropriate.
Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
For one vote, I'll nominate Gianna. I think she's a very, very sooky girl. She does a lot of whinging and complaining, and about everything, like how things aren't good enough and things like that. And it gets me frustrated listening to her.
What do you mean it gets you frustrated?
Makes me angry and makes me not want to associate with her. I don't want to spend time with her or talk to her.
But how does that affect you?
Affects me because I have to listen to it.
Good on him. So, Glenn creates a subgroup by only nominating girls whose names begin with G. Oh, that's not a good idea. So far, Kate has escaped any votes. Let's cross now to see how she nominates.
Kate.
Yes.
Who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
Okay. This week I nominate Tim for 2 points for eviction. The reasons are there has been a couple of occasions that we've mucked around play fighting and he's actually hurt me, and when I've asked him to, like one instance was a biting, it was all fun and games and then he wouldn't stop, and it actually made me really angry that because I'm happy to have a play, fight and muck around, But when it comes time that I actually was like, please don't do it, he still continued to do it, and it really, really